The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by Next Generation Special Forces, being led by members of Foxhound. They're demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon. You'll have two mission objectives. First, you're to rescue DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and the president of Armstech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike and stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim. High-Tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, a beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes. This is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
I will gladly press the start button if this wasn't on the PlayStation 1. Yep, long intro, good cutscene. Must be a Hideo Kojima game, am I right? I am correct. Hello there, everybody. This is Siwat the Platinum here, and ladies and gentlemen, I just said my name wrong. Welcome to Let's Play Metal Gear Solid. I gotta tell you, man, like, I feel like a big doofus for not, experiencing this game when it came out, because I probably already told this story, like, loads and loads of times before, but I was a huge Nintendo kid. I wasn't any sort of PlayStation kid or Xbox kid. I didn't have the cool games that everybody was playing, like Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid, Crash Bandicoot, Halo, whatever else. I was just gladly, comfortably sitting on my ass playing on my N64 when this came out. So yeah, I missed out. Well, mainly because this game is rated M and I couldn't play rated M games at the time, but now I can because I'm an adult. Anyway, speaking of the story of Metal Gear Solid, technically 2 games already came before it, but thankfully Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation 1, as it is the 3rd entry in the series, lets you get caught up on certain aspects of the story, aka both them. Metal Gear for the MSX and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake on the MSX2. So you don't necessarily have to play these 2, but it would be nice to see where the series came from. Anyway, I'm not going to waste any more of your time because there's a lot to say about this game. Probably stuff that's already been said already, but from my unique perspective, and since I've been playing every Metal Gear game at this point, I figured I might as well give give you my certain take on the series because, well, the series is just amazing, and this game is probably my favorite of the Metal Gear series. So, yeah, pretty good. Let's get to it.
I'm going to swat down a couple of bothersome flies.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake?
Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up.
Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface, but make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
Got it. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Alright, here we go, boys and girls. It's time to sneak around and do stuff. Now, this is really, really cool because, well, this is also speaking from me as someone who started playing the entire Metal Gear series in 2017. As someone who's experienced this for the first time, me being an adult who has mostly played, games on the Nintendo and Xbox, this was really cool to see for the first time. Just the way that the PlayStation could be able to handle such camera angles and such cinematics was really, really cool. And, just doing all sorts of stuff. Like, movies. Like, really, really cool movies. Like, really good spy movies, basically. So, it was kind of amazing to see all the stuff that the PlayStation 1 could do.
Snake, there's an elevator there you can take up to the ground. You'll just have to wait for the elevator to come down. You'd better hide somewhere.
And yes, exactly. Metal Gear Solid, unlike with Metal Gear Rising, which was technically my first Metal Gear game that I played on the channel, basically, the majority of Metal Gear games are stealth-based. You don't want to be caught by the enemy. Well, you can be caught by the enemy. There's really no major penalty for being caught, but in this instance, you really just want to not be caught at all times. Unlike with earlier games in the Metal Gear series, like Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2, being caught was just best avoided at all times, so you want to pay attention to the radar that's on the top right of the screen. Because the flashing lights indicate, all sorts of, enemies, And what I'm getting here is rations. You're going to need them just in case you get hurt. Oh, good. Ooh. Okay, good. Now, you want to be careful because a guy will come out of the elevator, by the way. And whenever he, just goes away. Okay, thank you. We can get up the elevator and really get things going.
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility.
Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
Thanks to the VR training I did on board the Discovery.
How's that sneaking suit working out?
I'm nice and dry, but it's a little hard to move.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Take it easy, I'm grateful. If it weren't for your suit and your shot, I would have turned into a popsicle out there.
An anti-freezing peptide, Snake. All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Already tested, huh? By the way, how's the diversionary operation going?
2 F-16s just took off from Galena and are headed your way. The terrorist radar should have already picked them up.
Aren't you glad I did the briefing first as part 0?
Behind D. Colonel, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
I have no idea, but it looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed. There are only 18 hours left until their deadline. You've got to hurry.
Wow, you must be crazy to fly a hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I haven't introduced you to yet. This is Mei Ling. She was assigned to us as our visual and data processing specialist. She designed your codec, as well as your Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
You're just flattering me.
No, I'm serious. Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18 hours.
Come on. I can't believe I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake. But I'm surprised. You're very frank for a trained killer.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to learning about the man behind the legend. But first, let me explain about your Soliton radar system. The bright dot in the middle is you, Snake. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision. Be careful, Snake. The genome soldiers have highly developed senses of hearing and vision due to their gene therapy. Make sure you don't let them see you.
First, I want you to infiltrate the disposal site and look for the DARPA chief.
The DARPA chief was injected with the same GPS-transmitting nanomachines as you. He should appear on your radar as a green dot.
Get whatever information you can from him about the terrorists. If he's alive, that is.
Snake, your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful.
We'll be monitoring your movements by radar, so contact us by codec anytime you want.
Got it. I'll call if I'm feeling lonely.
Seriously, Snake, we're here to back you up, so call if you need some information or advice. I'm also in charge of your mission data. Contact me if you want me to record your current status. My frequency is 140.96. It's a dedicated frequency for saving data. Don't forget it.
Remember, except for your binoculars, you're naked. You need to arm yourself with whatever weapons you can find.
I remember. First, I'm strip-searched by Dr. Naomi here, and then all my weapons are taken away. Imagine yourself put in that position.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
I'll hold you to that, Doctor. By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach. Thanks to the shot you gave me that suppressed my stomach acids.
Cigarettes? How are those going to help you?
You never know.
If you want to get in, there's the front door. It's the fastest way, but there's too much risk of being spotted by the enemy.
I can't just knock on the door and ask them to let me in. There's one sentry on the left and one on the right. They're armed with 5.56ers and pineapples.
What about the air duct near the door? There should also be a duct on the second floor.
I can't see it from here.
I'll let you decide the best COA. I'm counting on you, Snake.
And here we go. We actually finally get to play the video game. Alright, so this is going to be a little weird for me because I'm using the D-pad to move, so... Yep. And also, unfortunately, since I'm playing on my PlayStation 4 controller, I can't really press the home button to bring up the PS3 menu, so that's very unfortunate. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out. Okay, so the main point of Metal Gear Solid, don't get caught. Well, if you do get caught, well, the enemies will raise the alarm and you'll have to find cover if you want to, well, you know, get them off your ass. I believe you can draw their attention. Like that.
Whose footprints are these?
You can alert them to your presence.
What was
Like that.
noise? What was that noise?
This is fun.
What was that noise?
What was that noise?
Footprints are these?
Yeah, that's just fun to do, man. That's just fun. But I do need to get moving on here. Okay, so don't get caught by the searchlights, because that is a very bad thing. Ooh, good. Ooh. Yes, indeed. Alright, so by pressing the L2 buttons, you can bring up your items. You gotta hold it down, by the way. If you want to have your rations selected, you can do that. You can either use them right away, or if your life runs out, then they'll be used right away. So it's very common that you'll want to use, you know, your rations to, well, stay alive. You can use your cigarettes, however, smoking is hazardous to your health. You'll lose life with each second you use your cigarettes. So no smoking, kids. And you can also use your scope, but we already knew how to use that from the thing. I wasn't controlling the tutorial, by the way. I was just basically a surveillance camera? What is that thing? I really don't want to go in there because, you know, the surveillance camera will get me killed. So we'll need to find something that will help out with that if you catch my drift. But either way, yes, there are multiple ways to get into the base where we're supposed to go. We can either go for the bottom floor air duct, or we can go for the second floor. What I like to do, actually, is I like to go to the second floor. Because that's just more fun that way, to be perfectly honest. So anyway, what we got right there... And if we press R2, then we can bring up our weapons. So we have a SOCOM pistol, a semi-automatic pistol. I don't really need a reason to fight right now, so I'm gonna just leave that alone. So there's one guy over there and security cameras over there. See, this is what you have to do in Metal Gear Solid. You have to think methodically about when to go, basically. Basically, I have to figure out when's the best time to get moving, when's the best time to just go for it, and other such stuff, you know? By pressing the X button, you can crawl like this, and that'll help you get into small, tight spaces. Hey, Colonel. What's up?
That base must have some kind of ventilation system to recirculate the air. There should be air ducts around there somewhere. They must need a lot of power to run the base. There's probably a diesel generator somewhere. And since generating electricity requires oxygen, there must be exhaust openings for that too. You're not gonna believe this, but they shot down the F-16s we were using as a diversion with a Hind D. Then we got a message from Liquid. He said if we try something like that again, he'll launch the nuke. Snake, hurry up and get in there. That Hind will be coming back soon.
Alright, thanks, Colonel. I get the idea. Okay, so while we're here on the codec screen, actually, there's no need to remember all sorts of frequency numbers because the game already does that for you. Which is neat. I like that. And you want to know what I also like? The fact that, you know, the modern ports of Metal Gear 2 have this memory window selected. Oh, good! Oh, boy! Yeah, this is what I figured. Yeah, get me in there. Yes! Yep. Good. I was able to escape the alert, no problem. See, yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. The alert phase is added, therefore, you need to find cover quickly.
Snake, this is McDonald Miller. It's been a long time.
Master, what are you doing here?
I quit being a drill instructor, so I moved out here for some peace and quiet. I'm in retirement, just like you. Once in a while, I still help train the Alaskan Scouts.
Passing on the skills to a new generation, huh?
Campbell told me about the situation here. I thought I might be of some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Well, I know lots about survival in a harsh environment. I've lived in Alaska longer than you, so call me if you have any questions about the flora or fauna out here. My frequency is 141.80.
Thanks, Master Miller. You're really cool, mate. You're really cool, mate. Okay, so it's like I said. You can either go through the upstairs or the downstairs. I personally like going for the upstairs because it's more fun that way. Plus, it's cooler. It really is cooler like that.
I moved the DARPA chief to the cell in the first floor basement.
What about the vent shaft cleaning?
They just opened the vent covers. They're about to start spraying for rats.
First floor basement ventilation shaft.
Shut those covers as soon as they're done spraying. Also, keep your eye on that woman in the cell. Don't get careless now.
Woman in the cell?
Did something happen?
There's an intruder.
Really?
He's already done 3 people.
He's killed 3 people?
Yeah. Say he's using stealth, too.
Stealth? There's an intruder besides me?
Anyway, I want you to increase the security detail on the chief.
Get used to the fact that Snake asks questions a lot. You're gonna be seeing that a lot. Yeah, he's the script for Metal Gear Solid might be really good, but Snake just asks way too many questions. You definitely did see it in the briefing as well, so yeah. Anyway, I should definitely explain what the systems are for because, well, it's pretty obvious that this is a PlayStation 1 game, so obviously PS1, but where can you play it on today? Well, in this day and age, you can play it on, well, your PlayStation 2, if you still have a PS2 in the first place. If you have the original PS2, that could... Oh, hi! I have to interrupt myself for this.
Press the action button to drop down.
Okay, no, I don't really need to now. Okay, so I could just press that to do that, but... Yeah. This is a ration. I'm already full on rations, so... I don't need it. It's fine. By the way, the action button is the X button, by the way. Yeah, one thing I will say, though, that is a thing. The control scheme is takes a little bit to get used to. Like, it's obvious you can change the configuration to suit your needs. But for me, the action button is the circle button.
Use the elevator to change floors. There should be a cargo elevator that you can take down somewhere around there. Try to find it.
Yeah, cool, mate. Alright, so we got chaff grenades. So what that does is it disables electronics. So with that, you'll be able to disable security cameras. And it's pretty obvious that this security camera won't leave you alone no matter what you do. So, with the square button, just throw it, and bada bing. Jamming. So, yeah. Unfortunately, though, your radar system also gets jammed, so be careful when using it. And look at that. Thermal goggles, which is an item. Thermal imaging system for night vision use. So, this is particularly useful for any sort of night vision shit. Oh, God. Please, for the love of God. Ah, and there it is.
Snake, are you okay? Snake? Snake?
Snake! What are you doing, Snake? The great thing about Metal Gear Solid is... I know, Colonel, I know. Shut the... Yeah, the great thing about Metal Gear Solid is, you know, whenever you die, they say that iconic... Your teammates say that iconic thing. The iconic 3-word snake, snake, snake thing. I love it. I love it. Alright, let me get off these chaff grenades. So yeah, you can kind of tell that I like this game a little bit. Well, it's not just because of the reasons that everybody says that Metal Gear Solid is also really great too. Like, you may have caught it in the intro. You probably definitely caught it in the intro. But there's also the little things about Metal Gear Solid that I really, really appreciate. Like the face portraits. And how sometimes they subtly change, you know, expressions. Like when Mei Ling was talking to Snake, you briefly saw that, you know, Snake was smiling at her a little bit. I don't think anybody has talked about those. Like, the face portraits are really, really great. They're really cool. Actually, I like to use my rations, actually. Or put them on. Anywho, another way of killing bad guys is by punching them to death. Yes, you punch them to death. And, there it goes. Now, of course, you can't really get their guns after you punch them to death. But, the most common way to get rid of the alert is to find cover. Once you get rid of the alert phase, you'll be into the evasion phase. And if you find good enough cover, the evasion phase will go away immediately. I'm so good at video games! Come on, man, go away. Go away. And yeah, it's pretty obvious that... Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Oh, wow. Did they really just use explosives on me? Are you shitting? Are you shitting me? Really? Oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool. Oh, God! See what I'm talking about? I may not be that great in stealth, but screw it. Screw that. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is also me trying to figure out how to play the game because I haven't played Metal Gear Solid in a half a minute.
Snake, what happened? Snake! Snake!
Yeah. Yeah, just be mindful of me. I'm still trying to relearn how to play Metal Gear Solid also, so keep that in mind, that I really like this game, but I just haven't played it in like a very, very hot minute. So strap in and hold on as I try to relearn how to play this game. I haven't done any practice. I haven't done anything like that. I'm just trying to get through the game. I still remember how to play the game and how to beat the game, but I'm just a little rusty is all. All right, let's try to get into that elevator one more time. One more time. Just so that we can end this thing already. Now, you might have noticed some doors that were marked with a number. Very briefly. You won't be able to go into those doors just yet. Because what you need is some form of key in order to unlock said key. Or in order to unlock said door. Thanks. I already know I'm being, like, I know I'm being, chased down. Thank you. Thank you very much. Why are you trying to fish me out with that? Bruh. I mean, I know at least I didn't die. You know what? Honestly, I didn't even know that. I honestly didn't even know that those guys can throw grenades. That's interesting. Okay. Let's go up to this elevator. That will shift over to this. And then go on the first basement floor where we're supposed to go.
Look at the radar. It's picking up the DARPA chief. He's the green dot. Hurry and rescue him.
Yes, thank you. But we're not going to do that yet. Because, well, that's actually another thing about this game that I really, really appreciate that I don't think anybody talks about. It's the fact that each of your teammates have something to say on the situation.
Got yourself a weapon. To use it,
well,
hold down the R2
that's basically the thing.
weapon mode.
Colonel is basically your tutorial guy where he can, you know, give you directions on what to do.
Let go of the R2 button.
Like, he's explaining that by pressing the R2 button, you can go into your weapons and stuff, you know? And if you want to just skip all this, you can press the, you can just press the X button. And also, we got another one. We got another stuff. I didn't mean to do that!
Look at your radar. We've picked...
Yeah, that's basically what Mei Ling said already. I'm just trying to learn how to do this. Okay, thank you. Another thing that the game will tell you is that there are extra members, or at least one extra member of your team that will help you out. In which case, we have this lady right here.
This is Nastasha Romanenko. A pleasure to work with you, Solid Snake.
You're the nuclear specialist that the Colonel mentioned?
That's me. You can ask me anything about nukes that you want. I am also a military analyst, so I have an extensive knowledge of weapon systems as well. They asked me to participate in this operation as a supervisor from the Nuclear Emergency Search Team. I was happy to accept. We must not allow terrorists to get their hands on nuclear weapons of any kind. I hope I can help you to stop them.
You're a tough lady.
Those terrorists are serious about launching a nuclear weapon? The world cannot stand by idly and allow that to happen, and neither can I. Unfortunately, all I can do from here is provide you with information.
Hopefully that'll be enough. Another soldier here wouldn't make a difference anyway. It's good to work with you, Nastasha.
Same here, Snake.
So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And again, each of your party members, each of your teammates on the mission will have something to say about your current situation if they're not going to be just fulfilling their roles, like Campbell being filled with tutorials, Master Miller being the guy who will help you out with Alaska wildlife, Mei Ling for saving, and Nastasha for nuclear information. So, that's pretty cool. We haven't really talked to Master Miller yet, so hello.
Snake, you've got to think. Your mind is your most dangerous weapon. If things are getting too complicated, try to simplify your thoughts. You can also try calling Campbell for advice.
Yeah, thanks, mate. But either way, we're all good here, so let's call Mei Ling to save our game.
It's picking up the DARPA chief. He's the...
Yeah, thank you. I can gladly save my game now. And yes, look at all the playthroughs that I did. I am free 4 blocks because, of course. And thankfully, you can have as much file size, as many files as you have space.
Come on, Snake, you can do it.
Yeah, I know I can do it, Mei Ling. I can do it. That's what I like. That's what I like. Anyway, we're all done here. This is a big first episode, so obviously we basically got all the tutorial shit out of the way. So next time on Metal Gear Solid, we're going to see if we can't rescue the DARPA chief. See you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.